I just looked at my bookmark today and I'm excited. Look, I got a whole side of it checked all the way off. Are you keeping up? I think some of y'all have fallen a little bit behind, and I just want to let you know that it's okay. It's okay to have fallen behind. It's okay. You can catch up. You can but you have to make time for what's important. You have to, like I said early on, the devil doesn't want you to be able to read the Bible in 90 days. It's an awesome thing to do. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And we're past the halfway point all the way totally, and we're still in it. So be encouraged. We're doing a great work here. We're reading through the whole Bible in 90 days, and we're getting there. Today we're in Proverbs chapter 12 through 22. It's day 46. It's exciting because we're starting another column. Here we are starting another column. That's pretty cool. And we've only got 44 days left, or 43 reading days left, so we're doing awesome, guys. Alrighty, well, let's jump right into the word today. Let's see what kind of wisdom Solomon has for us today. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. Love that verse. That's 12:1 if you ever want to memorize that one. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. That'd be an easy one to remember. Verse 2. Good people obtain favor from the Lord, but he condemns those who devise wicked schemes. No one can be established through wickedness, but the righteous cannot be uprooted. A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in his bones. The plans of the righteous are just, but the advice of the wicked is deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the speech of the upright rescues them. When the wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands firm. Verse 8. A person is raised according to their prudence, and one with warped mind is despised. Better to be a nobody and yet have a servant than to pretend to be somebody and have no food. The righteous care for the needs of their animals, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. Those who work their hand will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. The wicked desire the stronghold of evildoers, but the root of the righteous endures. Evildoers are trapped by their sinful talk, and so the innocent escape trouble. From the fruit of their lips, people are filled with good things, and the work of their hands brings them reward. But the way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. The way of fools seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. Fools show their annoyance at once, but the prudent overlook an insult. An honest witness tells the truth, but a false witness tells lies. Verse 18. The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment. Deceit is in the hearts of those who plot evil, but those who promote peace have joy. No harm overtakes the righteous, but the wicked have their fill of trouble. 22. The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. The prudent keep their knowledge to themselves, but a fool's heart blurts out folly. That's my heart sometimes. Golly. Verse 24. Diligent hands will rule, but laziness ends in forced labor. Isn't that ironic? Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up. The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. The lazy do not roast any game, but the diligent feed on the riches of the hunt. In the way of the righteous there is life. Along that path is immorality. In the way of the righteous there is life. Along that path there is immortality. This is a promise from Scripture. Just good things to keep in mind. A wise son heeds his father's instruction. Chapter 13, by the way. A wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a mocker does not respond to the rebukes. From the fruit of their lips people enjoy good things, but the unfaithful have an appetite for violence. Those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly will come to ruin. A sluggard's appetite is never filled, but the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. The righteous hate what is false, but the wicked make themselves a stench, and bring shame on themselves. Righteousness guards the person of integrity, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. One person pretends to be rich, yet has nothing. Another pretends to be poor, but has great wealth. A person's riches may ransom their life, but the poor cannot respond to threatening rebukes. The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is snuffed out. Verse 10. Where there is strife, there is pride, but wisdom is found in those who take advice. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Whoever scorns instructions will pay for it, but whoever respects a command is rewarded. 14. The teaching of the wise is a foundation of life, turning a person from the snares of death. Good judgment wins favor, but the way of the unfaithful leads to their destruction. All who are prudent act with knowledge, but fools expose their folly. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a trustworthy envoy brings healing. Verse 18. Whoever disregards discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored. A longing fulfilled is sweet to the soul, but fools detest turning from evil. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Trouble pursues the sinner, but the righteous are rewarded with good things. 22. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. An unplowed field produces food for the poor, but an injustice sweeps it away. 24. Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. The righteous eat to their heart's content, but the stomach of the wicked goes hungry. Chapter 14. The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down. Whoever fears the Lord walks uprightly, but those who despise him are devious in their ways. A fool's mouth lashes out with pride, but the lips of the wise protect them. Where there are no oxen, the manger is empty, but from the strength of an ox come abundant harvests. An honest witness does not deceive, but a false witness pours out lies. The mocker seeks wisdom and finds none, but knowledge comes easily to the discerning. Verse 7. Stay away from a fool, for you will not find knowledge on their lips. The wisdom of the prudent is to give thought to their ways, but the folly of fools is deception. Fools mock at making amends for sin, but goodwill is found among the upright. Verse 10. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can share its joy. That is good. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. Even in laughter, the heart may ache, and rejoicing may end in grief. The faithless will be fully repaid for their ways, and the good rewards for theirs. 15. The simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. The wise fear the Lord and shun evil, but a fool is hot-headed and yet feels secure. A quick-tempered person does foolish things, and the one who devises evil schemes is hated. Verse 18. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Evildoers will not bow, or will bow down in the presence of the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor are shunned even by their neighbors, but the rich may have many fields. It is a sin to despise one's neighbor, but blessed is the one who is kind to the needy. Do not those who plot evil go astray. But those who plan to do what is good find love and faithfulness. 23. All hard work brings profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Man, I wish that one was true all the time. I see it working all the other way a lot. 24. The wealth of the wise is their crown, but the folly of fools yields folly. A truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is deceitful. Or we keep going with that one. That one's been repeated 3 times so far. Whoever fears the Lord has a secure fortress, and their children will be a refuge. The fear of the Lord is a foundation of life, turning a person from the snares of death. A large population is a king's glory, but without subjects a prince is ruined. Whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. That's usually true. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their Maker, but whoever is kind to the needy God honors. When calamity comes, the wicked are brought down, but even in death the righteous seek refuge in God. 33. Wisdom responses in the heart of the discerning, and even among fools she lets herself be known. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin condemns many people. A king delights in a wise servant, but a shameful servant arouses his fury. Chapter 15. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh answer stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise adorns knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. It gushes folly. Excuse me. Come on, paper. This is why I like my iPad Bible, my computer Bible on my phone. I can just... The eyes of the Lord are everywhere. Verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere. Keep watching, keeping watch on the wicked and the good. The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. A fool spurns a parent's discipline, but whoever heeds correction shows prudence. The house of the righteous contains great treasure, but the income of the wicked brings ruin. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, but the hearts of fools are not upright. The Lord detests the sacrifice of the wicked, but a prayer of the upright pleases him. The Lord detests the way of the wicked, but he loves those who pursue righteousness. Verse 10. Stern discipline awaits anyone who leaves the path. The one who hates correction will die. Death and destruction lie open before the Lord. How much more to human hearts? Mockers resent correction, so they avoid the wise. A happy heart makes a face cheerful, but heartache crushes the spirit. Verse 14. The discerning heart seeks knowledge, but the mouth of the fools feeds on folly. All the days of the oppressed are wretched, but the cheerful heart has a continual feast. Better a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil. Isn't that right? Verse 17. Better a small serving of vegetables with love than a fattened calf with hatred. A hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel. The way of the sluggard is blocked with thorns, but the path of the upright is a highway. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish man despises his mother. 21. Folly brings joy to the one who has no sense, but whoever has understanding keeps a straight course. 22. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisers they succeed. A person finds joy in giving an apt reply. How good is a timely word! And how good is a timely word! Verse 24. The path of life leads upward for the prudent, to keep them from going down to the realm of the dead. The Lord tears down the house of the proud, but he sets the widow's boundary stones in place. The Lord detests the thoughts of the wicked, but gracious words are pure in his sight. The greedy bring ruin to their households, but the one who hates bribes will live. 28. The heart of the righteous weighs its answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes evil. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. Verse 30. Light in a messenger's eyes brings joy to the heart, and good news gives health to the bones. Whoever heeds life-giving correction will be at home among the wise. Those who disregard discipline despise themselves, but the one who heeds correction gains understanding. Wisdom's instruction is to fear the Lord, and humility comes before honor. Amen. Chapter 16. To humans belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the proper answer of the tongue. That's one to think about. 16:1. Read that later. A person's ways seem pure to them, but motives are weighed by the Lord. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Wouldn't that be nice if everything you did it to the Lord, and he would establish your plans for you, and then nothing you did would ever fail? Amen. I could preach this. The Lord works out everything in its proper end, to its proper end, even the wicked, for a day of disaster. The Lord detests all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, that they will not go unpunished. Through love and faithfulness, sin is atoned for. Through the fear of the Lord, evil is avoided. When the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, he causes their enemies to make peace with them. Better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord is established in their steps. The lips of a king speak as an oracle, and his mouth does not betray justice. Verse 11. Honest scales and balances belong to the Lord. All the weights in the bag are of his making. He's a good judge. Verse 12. Kings detest wrongdoing, for a throne is established through righteousness. Kings take pleasure in honest lips. They value one who speaks what is right. A king's wrath is a messenger of death, but the wise will appease it. When a king's face brightens, it means life. His favor is like a rain cloud in spring. How much better to get wisdom than gold, to get insight rather than silver. The highway of the upright avoids evil. Those who guard their ways preserve their lives. Verse 18. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Better to be lowly in spirit along with the oppressed than to share plunder with the proud. Verse 20. Whoever gives heed to instruction prospers, and the blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. Verse 21. The wise in heart are called discerning, and gracious words promote instruction. Prudence is a fountain of life to the prudent, but folly brings punishment to fools. The hearts of the wise make their mouths prudent, and their lips promote instruction. 24. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end leads to death. That one's been repeated a few times too. 26. The appetite of laborers works for them. Their hunger drives them on. A scoundrel plots evil. On their lips it's like a scouring fire. A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. A violent person entices their neighbor and leads them down a path that is not good. 30. Whoever winks with their eye is plotting perversity. Whoever pursues their lips is bent on evil. Gray hair is a crown of splendor. It is attained in the way of righteousness. 32. Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but every decision is from the Lord. Chapter 17. Better a dry crust with peace and quiet than a house full of feasting with strife. Isn't that right? A prudent servant will rule over a disgraceful son, and will share the inheritance as one of the family. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold. But the Lord tests the heart. A wicked person listens to deceitful lips. A liar pays attention to a destructive tongue. Whoever mocks the poor shows contempt for their Maker. Whoever gloats over disaster will not go unpunished. Children's children are a crown to the aged, and parents are the pride of their children. Eloquent lips are unsuited to a godless fool. How much worse lying lips to a ruler. Ooh, that's a good one. 17:7. Remember that. Put that on the memory list. That's right, Ralphie. A bribe is seen as a charm by the one who gives it. They think success will come at every turn. Whoever would foster love covers an offense, but whoever repeats the matter separates close friends. A rebuke impresses a discerning person. More than 100 lashes a fool. Verse 11. Evildoers foster rebellion against God. The messenger of death will be sent against them. Better to meet a bear robbed of her cubs than a fool bent on folly. Amen. Evil will never leave the house of the one who pays back evil for good. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam. So drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. Amen. Acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, the Lord detests them both. Why should fools have the money in hand to buy wisdom when they are not able to understand it? Some of these are good. Chapter 17 is pretty good. They're all pretty good, though. A friend loves enemies at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. That's right. I'm going to read that one again. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. Verse 18. One who has no sense shakes hands in a pledge and puts up security for a neighbor. Whoever loves a quarrel loves sin. Whoever builds a high gate invites destruction. One whose heart is corrupt does not prosper. One whose tongue is perverse falls into trouble. To have a fool for a child brings grief, for there is no joy for the parent of a godless fool. That's sad. 22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. The wicked accept bribes in secret to pervert the course of justice. 24. A discerning person keeps wisdom in view, but a fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth. A foolish son brings grief to his father and bitterness to the mother who bore him. 26. If imposing a fine on the innocent is not good, surely to flog honest officials is not right. One who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even-tempered. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. Amen. That's got to be my favorite. The whole chapter 17. So far, it's my favorite. Chapter 18. An unfriendly person pursues selfish ends, and against all sound judgment starts quarrels. Fools find no pleasure in understanding, but delight in airing their own opinions. When wicked comes, so does contempt, and with shame comes reproach. The words of the mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a rushing stream. It is not good to be partial to the wicked, and so deprive the innocent of justice. The lips of fools brings them strife, and their mouths initiate a beating. The mouths of fools are their undoing, and their lips are a snare to their very lives. The words of a gossip are like choice morsels; they go down to the innermost parts. The one who is slack in his work is the brother to one who destroys. The name of the Lord is a fortified tower; the righteous run to it and are safe. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city; they imagine it a wall too high to scale. Verse 12. Before a downfall there is the heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor. To answer before listening, that is folly and shame. The human spirit can endure in sickness, but a crushed spirit who can bear? The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. 16. A gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. In a lawsuit, the first to speak seems right, until someone comes forward and cross-examines. Verse 18. Casting the lot settles disputes and keeps strong opponents apart. A brother wronged is more unyielding than a fortified city. Disputes are like barred gates of a citadel. Verse 20. From the fruit of their mouth a person's stomach is filled. With the harvest of their lips they are satisfied. The tongue has power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife that is good and receives favor, he who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. The poor plead for mercy, but the rich answer harshly. One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Chapter 19. Better the poor whose walk is blameless than the fool whose lips are perverse. Desire without knowledge is not good. How much more will hasty feet miss the way? A person's own folly leads to their ruin, yet their heart rages against the Lord. Verse 4. Wealth attracts many friends, but even the closest friend of the poor person deserts them. A false witness will not go unpunished, but whoever pours out lies will not go free. Men curry favor with a ruler, and everyone is the friend of one who gives gifts. The poor are shunned by all their relatives. How much more do their friends avoid them? The poor pursue them with pleading. They are nowhere to be found. Verse 8. The one who gets wisdom loves life, and the one who cherishes understanding will soon prosper. Verse 9. A false witness will not go unpunished, and whoever pours out lies will perish. It is not fitting for a fool to live in luxury. How much worse for a slave to rule over princes? A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. A king's rage is like the roar of a lion, but his favor is like the dew on the grass. A foolish child is a father's ruin, but a quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping of a leaky roof. Verse 14. Houses and wealth are inherited from parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Amen. Verse 15. Laziness brings on deep sleep, and the shiftless go hungry. Whoever keeps commandments keeps their life, but whoever shows contempt for their ways will die. 17. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay them for what they have done. Discipline your children, for in that there is hope. Do not be angry. Do not be a willing party to their death. Gotta let Ralph out. He was getting anxious. He might have farted. Oh. What does Solomon have to say about that? Where were we? Let's go. Verse 18. Discipline your children, for in that there's hope. Do not be a willing party to their death. Verse 19. A hot-tempered person must pay the penalty. Rescue them, and you will have to do it again. Listen to advice and accept discipline, and at that end you will be counted among the wise, and at the end you will be counted among the wise. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Man, that is some good advice. I gotta mark that one. What a person desires is unfailing love. Better to be poor than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life. Then one rests content, untouched by trouble. A sluggard buries his hand in the dish, and he will not even bring it back to his mouth. 25. Flog a mocker, and the simple will learn prudence. Rebuke the discerning, and they will gain knowledge. Whoever robs their father and drives out their mother is a child who brings shame and disgrace. Stop listening to instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. A corrupt witness mocks at justice, and the mouth of the wicked gulps down evil. 29. Penalties are prepared for mockers, and beatings for the backs of fools. Chapter 20. Wine is a mocker, and beer a brawler. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. A king's wrath strikes terror like the roar of a lion. Those who anger him forfeit their lives. It is to one's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. Sluggards do not plow in season, so at harvest time they look but find nothing. Verse 5. The purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but the one who has insights draws them out. Many claim to have unfailing love, but a faithful person who can find. Verse 7. The righteous lead blameless lives. Blessed are the children after them. When a king sits on his throne to judge, he winnows out all the evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have kept my heart pure, I am clean and without sin? Differing weights and differing measures, the Lord detests them both. Even small children are known by their actions. So is their conduct really pure and upright? Verse 12. Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. Do not love sleep, or you will grow poor. Stay awake, and you'll have food to spare. Verse 14. It is no good, says the buyer. And then he goes and boasts about the purchase. Verse 15. Gold there is, and rubies in abundance, but lips that speak knowledge are a rare jewel. 16. Take the garment from one who puts up security for a stranger. Hold it in pledge if it is done for an outsider. Food gained by fraud tastes sweet, but one ends up with a mouthful of gravel. Plans are established by seeking advice. If you wage war, obtain guidance. A gossip betrays a confidence, so avoid anyone who talks too much. If someone curses their father or mother, their lamp will be snuffed out in pitch darkness. An inheritance claimed too soon will not be blessed at the end. Do not say, I will pay you back for this wrong. Wait for the Lord, he will avenge you. 23. The Lord detests differing weights, and dishonest scales do not please him. A person's steps are directed by the Lord. How can anyone understand their own way? It is a trap to dedicate something rashly, and only later to consider one's vows. Verse 26. A wise king winnows out the wicked. He drives the threshing wheel over them. Verse 27. The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord, that sheds light on one's inmost being. Love and faithfulness keep a king safe. Through love is the throne made secure. The glory of young men is their strength. Gray hair, the splendor of the old. Blows and wounds scrub away evil, and beatings purge the inmost being. Chapter 21. The In the Lord's hand the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels toward all who please him. A person may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. Do what is right and just. It is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the unplowed field of the wicked, produce sin. Verse 5. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor and a deadly snare. The violence of the wicked will drag them away, for they refuse to do what is right. The way of the guilty is devious, but the conduct of the innocent is upright. Better to live in a corner of a roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome wife. You think Solomon knew something about that? The wicked crave evil. Their neighbors get no mercy from them. When a mocker is punished, the simple gain wisdom. By paying attention to the wise, they get knowledge. The righteous one takes note of the house of the wicked and brings the wicked to ruin. Whoever shuts their ears to the crying of the poor will also cry out and not be answered. 14. A gift given in secret soothes anger, and a bribe concealed in the cloak pacifies great wrath. 15. When justice is done, it brings joy to the righteous, but terror to evildoers. Whoever strays from the path of prudence comes to rest in the company of the dead. Whoever loves pleasure will become poor. Whoever loves wine and olive oil will never be rich. The wicked become a ransom for the righteous, and the unfaithful for the upright. Better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. Whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. 22. One who is wise can go up against the city of the mighty and pull down the stronghold in which they trust. Those who guard their mouths with their tongues keep themselves from calamity. 24. The proud and arrogant person, mocker is his name, behaves with insolent fury. The craving of a sluggard will be the death of him, because his hands refuse to work. All day long he craves more, but the righteous give without sparing. The sacrifice of the wicked is detestable, how much more so when brought with evil intent. A false witness will perish, but a careful listener will testify successfully. 29. The wicked put up a bold front, but the upright give thought to their ways. There is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory will rest with the Lord. Chapter 22. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Rich and poor have this in common: the Lord is the maker of them all. The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. Humility is the fear of the Lord. Its wages are riches and honor and life. In the paths of the wicked are snares and pitfalls, but those who would preserve their life stay far from them. 6. Start children off in the way they should go, and even when they are old they will not turn from it. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Verse 8. Whoever sows injustice reaps calamity, and the rod they wield in fury will be broken. The generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. Verse 10. Drive out the mocker, and out goes strife. Quarrels and insults are ended. One who loves a pure heart and who speaks with grace will have the king for a friend. The eyes of the Lord keep watch over knowledge, but he frustrates the words of the unfaithful. 13. The sluggard says, "There is a lion outside. I will be killed in the public square." The mouth of the mouth of an adulterous woman is a deep pit. A man who is under the Lord's wrath falls into it. Folly is bound up for the heart of a child, but the rod of discipline will drive it far away. Verse 16. One who oppresses the poor to increase his wealth, and one who gives to the rich will both come to poverty. All right, now we're in these sayings. There are 30 sayings to the wise, and I'll introduce them all because I've got headers for them here in this Bible. Saying 1. Pay attention and turn your ear to the sayings of the wise. Apply to your heart what I teach, for it is pleasing when you keep them in your heart and have all of them ready on your lips, so that your trust may be in the Lord. I teach you today, even you. Have I not written 30 sayings for you, sayings of counsel and knowledge, teaching you to be honest and to speak the truth, so that you bring back truthful reports to those who serve you? So that's the first saying, is be honest, and the people who work for you will be honest to you. Verse 22, saying 2. Do not exploit the poor because they are poor, and do not crush the needy in court, for the Lord will take up their case and will exact life for life. Saying 3, verse 24. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. Saying 4, 26. Do not be one who shakes hands in pledge, or puts up security for debts. If you lack the means to pay, your very bed will be snatched from under you. Saying 5, verse 28. Do not move an ancient boundary stone, set up by your ancestors. Do you see someone skilled in their work? This is saying 6. Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials of low rank. That's it for today. I was going to keep reading. I love those sayings. Man, that's some heavy stuff, man. It's like drinking from a fire hydrant. You know what I was thinking earlier? I was like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie The Matrix. You know, where he downloads all this. You know, he's downloading this stuff from The Matrix, and he wakes up and he's like, I know Kung Fu. You read Proverbs, and it's like doing that, and you're like, I know wisdom. It's really like that, man. I wish I could read things one time and memorize them. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be a gift? I think some people can do that, but I surely can't. I can read them 7 times out loud and all kinds of things, and I still can't remember. Remembering Bible verses is difficult. I don't memorize. I like to memorize verses out of either ESV or King James because they're a lot more poetic and they flow a little bit better in English. But no, I do like memorizing them. But sometimes I get confused and stuff like that. Well, guys, that's all we got for today. God loves you. I love you too. Have a wonderful day.